Hey people, welcome back to another video on the channel, and it's the post-match review of match day 18 in the Premier League. Chelsea, what champions. Our champions still get, but they have received koboko from Aston Villa. The Lord is their strength. Chelsea fans, sorry you. Anyways, guys, matches started off on Friday with Manchester United winning their game against Newcastle. It was a 1-0 win for Manchester United, and I feel like they really played well in that game to deserve all 3 points. Honestly, I feel like Manchester United, they need to do better. At some point in that game, Newcastle were close, really close to getting an equalizer, but they defended resolutely, and yeah, they went away with all 3 points. Obviously, seeing that they played at home, it was only expected of them to win their game. And yes, they must have been disappointed about the loss to Aston Villa, but then again, I feel like Aston Villa are a very good side, so definitely they knew that they lost to a good team. But playing against Newcastle, who are having their own issues, I think they're struggling just a little bit at the moment. It was good. It was really good that they were able to get all 3 points against Newcastle, and that pushes them, I think in the top 6 or so. Yes, I think they're in the top 6 now. They're probably behind Chelsea on goal difference, if I'm not mistaken. And then on Saturday, Chelsea losing to Aston Villa. Now, that was a huge disappointment though, because how do you go from 1-0 up to 2-1 down? Really bad. That first half, Chelsea played really well, and coming out in the second half, it was really disappointing. I must say that the fact that Miraska removed Kukurea, it should not have removed Kukurea. He was one of their best players on the field, and you removed him. And what were you expecting? Gusto was all over the place. It was all over the place. And at some point, I felt like Morgan should have actually gotten a red card. He was making a lot of wrong tackles. He was just going in with, it was terrible. He should have gotten a red card in that game. But regardless, I feel like Aston Villa, with the performance that he gave in the second half, they did deserve the 3 points. They did. Chelsea came out really bad in that second half, and maybe the changes that the coach made affected them, but regardless, it wasn't the same level of intensity in the second half. And Aston Villa saw that, and they obviously took advantage of that, scoring the 2 goals. Even though the first goal, I think it was a defensive error from Gusto. Yeah, you see, this Chelsea, their case, not only them understand. But anyways, they lost their game to Aston Villa, who I must say has been really impressive so far this season. Yes, they started rough. They started the season, losing games. They were inconsistent. I think it was the fact that they weren't able to manage the game, having to play the Premier League, Champions League, and all that. But now it seems like they are playing, they're taking it one match at a time, winning 11 games or 12 games in a row. That's a record for Aston Villa. That's a record for them. I think in the last, is it probably 9 to 10 years, they've not won back-to-back games, not to talk of, they've won back-to-back games, but not winning 9 to 10, 12 games in a row. That's very good from Aston Villa. And in that record, they've beaten Arsenal, they've beaten Manchester United, they've beaten Chelsea. You can tell that they are on a very good run. Emery is doing a very fantastic job with Aston Villa, I must say. Yeah, they are currently number 3, and they are just 3 points between them and Arsenal, who are top of the table. They currently have, I think, 39 points. Arsenal has about 42 points, and then Man City has, I think, 40 points. Yes, 40 points. So you can tell that, yeah, City are not even careful, there's a chance that Aston Villa can top the table at a point, at some point. Yeah, they're really doing good right now, and I must say that I'm really impressed with them. And then earlier in the day, Man City obviously won their game against Nottingham Forest, a 2-1 win. Please, can somebody hold Ryan Cherki? Just hold him, hold his leg, because the way that guy is going about his business, you don't see him coming. He had a goal and an assist. That second goal was a very good one. It wasn't a very hard strike, but you know that there was a good enough pace to it for it to go into the back of the net. And Nottingham Forest, I think they gave Man City a very tough time. At some point, I thought it would have ended in a 1-1 draw, but regardless, you could tell that Man City also knew that they needed to win their game, because the chances of them relying that, oh, Arsenal is going to win or not, yeah, it wasn't something they were going to do. So they knew they had to win their game, and which was exactly what they did, just of course to put pressure on Arsenal. But the first half, Man City really struggled to put together some complete passes, especially in the final third in the 18-yard box. But eventually they were able to get the first goal, and then in the second half, Nottingham Forest obviously equalized, and then Man City got I think the second goal in the 70-something minute. And yeah, Nottingham Forest tried, but obviously there wasn't much they could have done. There wasn't. And then Arsenal then faced Brighton, who Arsenal are still struggling, but they are getting the results. They are getting the 3 points, right? They needed an own goal this time around to get 3 points against Brighton. Arsenal, they are all over the place. So, but you know what? As I said, the point matters. That is what you have to do. You won't have good performances all the time, but the fact that you can get the results, that is what matters. That is honestly what matters. If you keep getting the 3 points and you're not having good performances, yeah, even though this was what Liverpool did last season, getting results, not having good performances, that eventually showed in, towards the end of the season and even beginning of the new season, of the current season. But regardless, that won them the title. So maybe Aston can do that and then do one better by winning the title eventually, having finished second for 3 seasons in a row. Like, yeah, that's bad. But they got the job done, and they needed, as I said, an own goal to eventually get all 3 points. Regardless, all that matters is the 3 points. But the way Aston Villa and Man City are going, Aston cannot afford to even draw a match. They cannot afford it. If they make the mistake of drawing a match, hey, title don't go. So they have to ensure that they keep getting the 3 points to keep them at least 2 points away from Man City and 3 again away from Aston Villa. Because the way even Aston Villa are going right now, I don't think they want to lose any game regardless. And even looking at their game, I think that first half, they were really good in the first half. I just felt like they could have done better. Yeah, they really struggled. They really struggled in that first half. They couldn't do much in that first half, but they did get the goal. Odegaard scoring a very good goal out of the 18-yard box. Yeah, it was a quality strike. And then what's his name? Ruta getting the second goal. That obviously he would have been really disappointed, but regardless, he got the goal. And then Diego Gomez getting 1 goal for Brighton, thinking that they could have gotten the second one, but it wasn't to be for Arsenal. Regardless, as I said, 3 points matters, and that keeps them on the top of the table till their next game. And then Liverpool, on the other hand, were also able to get a 2-1 win over Wolves, even though I expected them to have scored maybe like 3, because Wolves, as I said, they are just unlucky. They play well sometimes and they just don't get the results. And that was exactly what happened against Liverpool, right, in the first half. And then second half, you would expect that after they got the first goal in the second half, Wolves, they could have done better by getting another one, but they couldn't. And Liverpool went away with the 2 goals. However, the good thing for Liverpool was the fact that Florian Wirtz eventually gets his goal. Like, it's been a long time coming. He should have gotten that goal a long time coming, especially in the Premier League. He eventually gets the goal, and Gravenberch, who I think has also been struggling somehow, I think probably because of after he picked up an injury, he has been struggling a little bit, and he got the first goal for Liverpool. I think probably that is to bring his confidence back, because I feel like he has not been the same Gravenberch we knew coming from last season into the season. But then again, regardless, Liverpool got the result that they needed, 2-1, and they now move to number 4 on the table. They move ahead of Chelsea, who obviously lost the game. Yeah, I think so far when you look at the results in the Premier League today, you would say some teams, they should have done better. The likes of Chelsea could have done better with their game, probably tried to even get a point in that game, but it's really disappointing to see that they lost the game. And then Arsenal, who eventually got another 3 points, they still remain top of the table. But that's what the Premier League is about, right? If you don't take your chances, it affects you and affects your results. So definitely you have to ensure that you're ready for the game. And it's the Premier League is heating up. We are already getting into the second half of the season, right? We are getting into where the results matters, not just even the performance. The results, they really matter in the second half of the season. And maybe Chelsea will say, oh, maybe we can rest now that December, one of the periods where we don't get results whatsoever, we are probably done and dusted. But yeah, it was really bad for Chelsea in December. I think Arsenal didn't play very well, but they were able to get results in December. Man City, on the other hand, were playing really well. Liverpool also picked up very good results and even had good performances. So yeah, and Aston Villa obviously have been on a very good run. You can tell that the Premier League is beginning to heat up. It's really beginning to heat up, and it looks like we're already getting to that period where energies are tested, and a lot of teams are going to be struggling to keep up results. The second half of the season is always like that. So let's see what happens going into match day 19. But for now, those are my thoughts on some of the games that happened this weekend. I think Man City is still supposed to play, I said Man City, Tottenham. They're still supposed to play their game tomorrow against Crystal Palace. That's another big match. It's more like another London derby, but yeah, it's going to be a big game to watch out for tomorrow. Well, those are my thoughts on some of the games that happened this weekend. Don't forget to share yours in the comment section. I will definitely be reading and be replying some responses. Also, ensure to subscribe to the channel. Like, share, and subscribe. Subscribe. Should I shout it? No, let me not shout it. Please subscribe to the channel, and it helps the channel to obviously grow. And don't forget to put on your post notification button to get our latest video. Also follow us on all our social media handles at _official FSH. Anyways, guys, until I come your way again, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye, guys.